Instagram doesn't work anymore. Okay, wait a second. Let's just chill. Hello everyone! Welcome to Art Business with Ness. I'm Ness and I'm a professional illustrator. Today I'm really excited because we're diving deep and we're going to talk about Instagram strategies for artists that actually work today. And most importantly, we're going to talk about how to do it without spending 24 hours a day on it. We're going to talk about smart strategies that are efficient and leave you with some free time at the end of the day. But before we get started, if you're new here and you would like to see more videos like this, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell. The bell sends you notifications every single time I upload a new video. This way you're sure that you won't miss any of the advice. Alright, so let's get in. What strategies actually work today? Because I'm sure that you've tried the strategy of just keep posting and it will work. And guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't. A lot of people tell you, well, if it doesn't work, just post more, be more consistent, give them more every day, twice a day, and then it will work. But unfortunately, we're gonna wanna work smarter here, not harder. Static images on Instagram are not it anymore. It used to be when Instagram was less saturated that you could just post an illustration with a couple hashtags and it would get magically found in search. But no longer. There are so many people on Instagram, millions and millions of users, and static images are not pushed as they used to be. However, there are other types of content that Instagram is actively pushing. And so if you use these types of content, you have a much better chance of getting found with much less effort. The algorithm changes all the time. So if we want to grow a successful Instagram account, we have to adapt with it and not work against it. Fortunately, it may be a lot easier than you might think to incorporate these new strategies. As artists, there are a lot of things that we can do that other people can't. On Instagram, these types of posts can be very easy for you to create. So let's talk about what the algorithm is pushing now. Reels, carousels, and stories. Let's take it one at a time. First of all, let's start with Reels. Reels are short videos that you can make and edit on Instagram, and they're typically between 15 seconds and 1 minute, 2 minutes is kind of pushing it. They're basically Instagram's response to TikToks. Now, Reels get a really bad rep with artists. For some reason, I hear a lot of oh, hell no. There's no way I'm making Reels. I'm not going to be doing some silly dances or videos of me pointing at stuff. I don't want to show my face. I don't want to look silly doing some lip syncing and whatever else. Not for me. And I really feel that. Look, I don't want to dance either. But don't just get an automatic hate on for Reels. Reels are just a media. They are what you make of them. And you're an artist. I know that you're more creative than that. You have 2 minutes of video. There's so many possibilities for what you can do. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing if that doesn't work for you. Those lip sync videos, I think they look silly. I don't want to do them, but there's so many other things that we can do. I'm certain that there are some type of reel that you could do that you would feel comfortable doing and that you would even enjoy doing. Here are a few examples of easy reel ideas for artists. Flip through a few pages of your sketchbook. Show a before and after of your illustration. Film your hand for a minute while you're drawing. Do a tour of your art supplies. Do an unboxing of prints, equipment, or art supplies. Talk about some learning moments or art tips. Make a mini tutorial, etc. And those are just a few examples. If you're comfortable showing your face to camera like I am, you can just talk to the camera for a minute. Those are the easiest types of reels to make. And if you're not comfortable showing your face, then show your art. There are so many possibilities. I know some of them will suit you. And the thing with reels is Instagram is really pushing them hard right now. So they are your biggest and best opportunity to bring in some new viewers and new followers right now. And I have a great example of that because I just did a little experiment. I actually started a brand new Instagram account just for the Art Business with Ness channel. I've been wanting to start one for a very long time, and this is going to be just a collection of reels with me doing quick tips. So I decided that since I'm starting this brand new account, before I tell anyone, I might as well run a little experiment to see how much reach I can get just with reels in a short amount of time with 0 followers. So what I did was I recorded 6 simple reels, just me talking to the camera for a minute, nothing fancy, and I uploaded one every morning for 6 days. And here were the results. All right, so here is the very first reel that I ever posted, and this reel got me 12 followers already right off the bat, which was really quite shocking to me because it was just a 1-minute video of me on my back porch talking to the camera about what I was about. Took no time at all to create, and already it got the ball rolling for this brand new account. So I posted this in the morning, and now it's 1:26 when I took this screenshot, and we can see the insights inside the Instagram app that this reel got by 1:26. 165 views, 4 hearts, 1 comment. The interesting thing is the reach. You can see that it reached 160 non-followers. So brand new people who don't know anything about me got recommended this and played it. So this is the power of Reels. It shows your content to brand new people in a way that static images are not shown to new people anymore. So this is the second reel that I made on the next day, and this one kind of took off. This one got almost 2,000 plays. It got 27 hearts, 1 comment, 5 shares, and 11 saves to their collection. 10 of my followers that I gained from yesterday saw this, which is a good number, but also 1,872 people, non-followers, saw this reel. So when I saw these numbers, I was like, okay, wow, this is impressive. I really cannot think of any other social media method that you can get this much reach right now. This is the third one that I posted, and I decided to do a little series on Fiverr. So there's 3 different parts, and then there's like a summary part. So I recorded those all one after another, took me like 5 minutes, and then I posted them one after another on different days. So this was the first one, and it got 161 plays, 3 hearts, and 1 share. So again, I'm pretty much staying in my in my range. It seems like I get about 150 plays per reel, which is really good considering I'm a brand new account that Instagram really doesn't have any reason to show to all that many people. This is the second part of that series, 152 plays. And the third one took off. So it seems that every once in a while I have a reel that will just have a lot more views than my usual, which seems to be around 150. So this third part got over 1,000 plays, 12 hearts, 1 comment, 4 shares, and 5 saves. Again, most of the people who saw this are non-followers, which is really, really good. And this was my last part. The summary part also took off, 1,800 plays, 19 hearts, 3 comments, and 2 saves. So this is my account after 6 days, 6 reels posted. I gained in total 25 followers just from these 6 reels, which for a brand new account is pretty good. And this is a little bit deeper into my insights after that first week. Over 10,000 accounts reached. That is crazy. Can you imagine being able to achieve that any other way with a brand new Instagram account that hasn't gotten any followers or any sort of following so far? This is really, it shocked me. Like, that's so much. And 103 accounts engaged. So people who commented, liked, or followed. Total followers 24. It's actually 25. I took this screenshot a little bit before, then I got another one, a straggler. So really, really good results, I feel. And since then, I've continued posting reels, not every day, but 3 per week. And so this is a screenshot from today. I'm now at 11 posts, all reels, and I'm almost at 100 followers already in just a little over a week, which I'm really, really happy with those results. And I think it shows the power of reels, how easily you can grow an account with reels, which usually growing a new account on Instagram is like pulling teeth, but reels seems to be the easy way to do it. So pretty good results, and I kept it really, really simple with my reels too. All in all, it only took me about an hour to think of ideas, write the reels, record them, and edit them to upload them. 1 hour, just 1 hour, and I was able to reach thousands and thousands of people. Now, I don't know for you, but when I post a static image, like an illustration, to my main Instagram art account, I only get like 10 likes for it, and I have over 1,000 subscribers. It really feels like no one is seeing my content. So even though, a few thousand views, it might not seem like much, but this kind of reach is kind of unseen on Instagram right now. Only with Reels, you can reach this many people. It's an incredible opportunity, similar to how it was on Instagram when it first started, when the platform wasn't as saturated as it is today. With Instagram pushing Reels so much, right now, this is the opportunity to get found. And I want you to grasp that as fast as possible before it too becomes saturated, because it will. This window of opportunity will not be open forever. So grasp it while you can. And then, we'll adapt to whatever next thing works then. But for right now, it's Reels. The second thing that works not quite as well, but still pretty good, is carousels. A carousel is simply a post that includes multiple static images that you can flip through. That's it. For us artists, it's incredibly easy to do. Just have a collection of different images. And while carousels, I don't have a spiffy experiment to show you actual numbers, I know that they are also being pushed quite a bit by Instagram. If you look at your Discover feed, you will see mostly Reels, and then some carousels, and just maybe a couple static images every once in a while. So it's really in that order that they're pushing them: first Reels, second carousel, and then some static images kind of to round out everything. As I said, carousels are really, really easy for us artists to do, and they can also give us quite a good discovery on Instagram. Here are some easy examples of carousels that you could do. A collection of 3 to 5 of your best illustrations, 3 to 5 images showing different stages of your process, a few photos from your sketchbook, different photos of your art desk, 3 to 5 photos of you working, photos of your artwork hanging on the wall, photos of different products that you offer in your art shop, written tips and tricks on different slides, with hand-drawn little decorations, etc. The next thing that also works really well on Instagram is stories. Stories are also great, but for different reasons than Reels and carousels. Stories do not show up on the Discover feed, so they won't help you bring in new people, but they will help you to engage with your existing followers and to help more of them find your content. Basically, you can use stories to remind people who follow you that you exist and remind them to go see your posts, notify them when you post something else, and this way you can boost your numbers with your existing fan base. Because finding a new follower is all great and all, but it's so much easier to engage someone who's already there, who already loves your work, than it is to go out and find a brand new person. Stories are either photos or short videos, or sometimes even slide with text, and they disappear within 24 hours. They are Instagram's response to Snapchat. Most people use stories to share a little bit about themselves. It doesn't always have to be about the art. Also, you can share a bit about your life, what you're eating, where you're going. And a very great way to use stories is to notify people when you post something new. After you posted a new reel, carousel, or a static image, you can simply use the share button and to share it instantly to your story. Everyone consumes content differently on Instagram, and there's a sizable portion of your audience that doesn't like scrolling down their feed at all, and instead they just like to watch the stories before they disappear. So by giving them a notification that you posted something new, they might not even have noticed your new post, and now they have. But again, stories can be whatever you want them to be. Here are a few examples of things that you could do for your story. Photos of what you're working on at the moment, photos of what you're doing at the moment, like going to an event, a concert, going to the restaurant, an update of your evening or your weekend, work in progress, news and updates, etc. And not everyone loves to share about their life. I know I don't, so I completely understand that. I'm not big on stories at all. I'm especially overwhelmed by the fact that it has to be every day. It kind of stresses me out. So usually I don't share much to my story at all, but I still use it at least to notify people of my new posts. And I swear every single time there's at least a few people that wouldn't have known about my posts otherwise. So it's worth it. It only takes a second. So now it's time to take all of that information that I just gave you and put it together into a plan that's going to be coherent and realistic for you. Because I know that maybe right now it's a little bit overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, I need to do this and this and this. It can feel like a lot, but you don't have to do everything, and you certainly don't have to do everything at once. We're going to create a plan together, and you're going to see how actually it is quite easy. But before we jump into that, I want to know real quick, are you on Instagram? And if so, what has your experience been like? How long have you been there and how many followers have you gotten? What has your experience been like? Do you feel like it's very frustrating, or has it been fun for you? Whatever it is, I would love to know what's been your experience with Instagram so far. Go in the comments right now and let me know. All right, so let's get into the plan. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is decide how much or how little you want to post. It's super important to be consistent. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Consistency is key, and that's absolutely true. But being consistent is not the same as posting 3 times a day, which is mental. So decide a pace that works for you and that you're going to be able to maintain. For example, let's say I decided to post 3 times on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's it. That can seem like a lot, but it doesn't mean that you need a new illustration every single time you post. Let's be creative and efficient about this. So whatever your own process of making art is, we can work with that. Let's say that I create only 2 illustrations per month. That's okay. We can work with that. We can make 3 posts a week, even if we're only making 2 illustrations per month. We can. Let me show you how. All right, so here I have an Instagram grid planner that I made, and I'm going to be using this to show you how easy it can be to plan your content. So first of all, I'm just going to be writing directly on this. I've decided that I'm going to post 3 times per week, which means each one of these rows is a week. There's 5, so there's actually a bit more space, more than 1 month. I'm just going to do 1 month here. All right, let's do like 5 weeks. All right, so let's start here, and let's say I do 2 reels per week. All right, so reel, and I'm just going to duplicate this. All right, so 2 reels per week. I'm going to duplicate those and populate them in the different weeks. Let's say that maybe I want to stagger them. All right, so for a whole month, I actually just need 6 reels, and that's not so bad. All right, so next, the remaining ones can be a mix of carousels and static images. So we've said that maybe I do 2 illustrations per month, okay? So here can be one of those illustrations, and 2 weeks later. All right, let's put some carousels in here. So let's say I do 1 carousels every couple weeks, because maybe those are a little bit more effort. So a carousel here, and I'm gonna put a carousel here. And the rest can be static images. We can decide later what those are. All right, and as we said, this week we're not using that row. So now we can start planning exactly what we're going to do for each type. So let's say the first couple, now we have a finished illustration here, so that's done. We have a finished illustration. But this image maybe can be a sketch of that illustration, the next one that's coming up, right? And this one could be maybe a finished illustration that's kind of done as a lifestyle shot. So maybe the illustration on my desk or on my wall framed up. So this can be a lifestyle shot of illustration. All right, so those are decided. For the carousels, let's say this one can be 5 favorite illustrations. Okay, so oldies but goodies, some of my favorites that I know that everyone goes crazy for, I can make a little collection. And this one could be a process, right? So different work in progress images, a couple sketches, and then like half colored and finished illustration. Okay, so it's 5 images. 5 images during the whole showing the whole process of how I created an illustration. Maybe, you know, this one, and this one could be a lifestyle shot of this illustration maybe. But you know, as I'm making this illustration, I can take these images, so I don't have to create from scratch. I can take from what I'm already doing. That's the whole idea here, to create content while you're creating your illustrations, not just create everything twice. All right, so now let's do the reels. Now those can be the hardest to imagine what we're gonna do because they're video content. However, with a little bit of planning, which is what we're doing now, it's actually quite easy to work that in your regular flow. So this, let's say this first reel, it could be a couple clips of you sketching, right? Maybe this illustration is already finished because you're posting it the next day. Maybe sketching that illustration, right? Sketching clips. You can do maybe like 5 clips of 10 seconds each, just, you know, quickly capturing it while you're sketching and then jumping to the next clip to show like different stages of the sketching. That's actually quite interesting. I love seeing those reels myself, so I would think that it would do quite well. For the next thing here, let's say what we can do with this one, you could do some sort of like presentation, like with maybe an audio, a trending audio. So maybe you have found an audio that says like, this is me and this is my art, and this is what I do, or something like that. And so the first clip would be just like little 5-second clips of you smiling, waving to the camera, and then the other one would be a clip of you like panning over some of your artwork. So this could be, you know, a trending audio that uses just a couple easy clips. But once you've decided what you want to do, you can film all of the clips that you need in one afternoon, you know, and the ones that have to do with your illustrations, then you can film them while you're sketching, for instance, or while you're drawing. This reel here, let's see, what could we do for this? Could be a sketchbook flip. Sketchbook flip. Maybe, you know, maybe you don't have your full sketchbook filled up, but maybe you have 5 pages and you spend 10 seconds per page while talking over it. You have enough for a reel. Now we only have 3 left. Like, this goes pretty fast. So another reel that we could do, it could be a Procreate time lapse. Procreate actually record those like automatically as you draw, so it's very easy to just take the footage and you can speed it up, or you can use the slider with your finger to just show like from beginning to end the time lapse, and that's pretty cool. I love to see those on Instagram. It's really quite fascinating. So that can be that. Now we have 2 more. Maybe this one could be another one with a trending audio. For artists, it's quite fun for us to be able to put clips of our art in it. So let's say this could be a clip of your art, how it was before, you know, a few years ago when it was ugly, and now, which is all glow up. So it could be before, after. This is also quite easy. Like, you keep your art, presumably, so you have some art that you've done 5 years ago and you have some that you've done now, so you can just like do a little before after thing with a fun audio, and there you go. One last reel. What could this be? Now, you don't have to be super original either. Like, literally this sketchbook flip, you could do another sketchbook flip, you know, while you record it. You could record 10 pages and then you split it in half. You do 5 pages on this one and another 5 pages on the other one. So you don't have to be super original, but just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna try thinking of something that we could do for this last one that's a bit more interesting. So let's say for this one, you can share an art tip. Okay, so it could be, if you're not shy to appear on camera, you could just literally be talking to camera, talking about this tip. Or if you're shy, then you could do something else. You know, you can show your hand on Procreate, just showing what to do versus not what to do, that sort of thing. So we have our plan here all done. And now that you know what you're doing, if you wanted, you could print this and you could put it on your wall to remember what to record when you're illustrating, and all of these other reels and carousels using past art that you've done or clips that you can film, like an art tip. You can all record those or prepare those in a single day, and then you can schedule them in advance. All done. Super easy. All right, so now we have our plan. When we see it like that, it's not so scary, is it? It's pretty doable. The most important part of your Instagram plan is that it has to integrate well with your life. It has to integrate with your schedule, with your process of making work, and all of this. Make sure to choose types of reels, carousels, and static images that really work with your process, not against it. And we can make the process even easier and less stressful by preparing as much as we can in advance and batching the process of creating posts. Here's a pro tip. Post your things on Instagram a few weeks after you've created the content, not immediately. This way, you have a little bit of a build-up. You have a stash of photos, clips, and footage that you can use to prepare your reels and your posts in advance. This means that you can schedule a day to do it all at once. One day per month is all that you need to prepare your Instagram content for the whole month. Choose a day to put together all the different footage that you've taken from when you're drawing, record any reels like flipping through your sketchbooks or talking to the camera, edit everything together, create your carousels. This should only take you about a day to create 12 to 20 posts for the whole month. And then you can keep it in your phone until it's ready to post, or you can even use a scheduling app such as Later or Buffer to schedule your posts so that they will post automatically without you having to do anything. That's my favorite method because it's set and forget it, so I can just take it off my plate and not worry about it. With a little bit of planning, it doesn't have to take so much effort or be so overwhelming to consistently post on Instagram. It can be really easy. And today I have a little surprise for you, a brand new freebie. I'm giving away my Instagram template for planning your grid, the very same one that I use in this video. You can either print it to fill out by hand, or you can fill it up digitally on Photoshop or even on your iPad on Procreate, etc. Either way, it's a really nice planning tool and completely free. I will leave the link to that in the description below. And if you're watching this whole video thinking, ugh, do I have to do all of that? I hate Instagram. I don't want to be on it. Then don't worry. You actually don't have to be on Instagram if you don't want to. You can be successful as an illustrator even if you're not on Instagram. That's actually what we talked about in our last video. So I'm going to link that in the screen and in the description if you want to go see that. We're talking about why you don't have to use Instagram and what you can do instead if you don't want to use Instagram. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you did, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help our small channel grow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.